Why F1 cars don't have closed cockpits. The Formula 1 car is the most technologically advanced and the fastest racing car in the world. It has a long history and has evolved over time to be what it is today. But these cars don't have closed cockpits. Do you wonder why? Today we're gonna answer that question. Watch the video till the end, and welcome to F1 Freaks. The first ever F1 race was held in 1950, with only 13 cars taking part in it. The cars were open cockpit and were made of steel tubing with a fuel-injected engine. In 2017, F1 Racing had 20 cars taking part in it on average, with more than 100 engineers working on each car for an entire season. These cars are made of carbon fiber and are closed cockpit for the driver. The safety of the driver is a concern for many people. Some people have proposed closed cockpits to provide better protection for the driver. But would this be enough? In this video, we will discuss how closed cockpits could affect the safety of the driver. A closed cockpit would provide more safety to the driver. The driver will be less exposed to the danger of debris and other external factors that would affect the safety of the driver. A closed cockpit design would provide better aerodynamic performance and less drag. A closed cockpit usually has a central windshield with a smaller windscreen on the driver's side, which also increases the size of the vehicle's front grille opening. Why closed cockpits might be a bad idea for F1 drivers. The closed cockpit is a safety measure that has been implemented in the sport of Formula 1 racing. The cockpit is closed off from the driver's head to his waist. This is done to protect drivers from flying debris and other objects on the track. In recent years, there have been a number of incidents where debris has pierced through the cockpit and hit drivers in the head or chest. In 2003, Felipe Massa was hit by a suspension spring that penetrated his helmet visor and knocked him unconscious. In 2009, Robert Kubica was hit by an airborne tire which left him with a concussion and multiple injuries to his arm. There are many who argue that this safety measure might not be enough to protect drivers from injury if they get into an accident with another car. The safety of the drivers is the most important aspect of any race. The closed cockpits might make it difficult for the drivers to see what's happening around them and to make their own decisions. The closed cockpit design might be a bad idea in F1 racing because it would limit visibility and make it difficult for drivers to react quickly to unexpected situations. Also, if you guys are loving the content so far, please let us know by smashing the like button, and also make sure you hit the subscribe button. The risk of a fire in an open cockpit is not as high as people may think. This is because the fuel tanks are located at the back of the car, and they are shielded by 2 layers of bodywork, which means that there would be little chance for the fuel to ignite. F1 is a high-speed form of motor racing. The drivers race in open cockpits. If there was a fire, the driver would not be able to escape as quickly as they would in an enclosed cockpit. There are many safety precautions that are taken by the F1 organization to ensure that there is no risk of fire in the cockpit. These include an extinguisher, which is located in a position where it can be easily accessed by the driver and the team, and a fireproof blanket which covers all of the electronics located on top of the engine. In the 1970s, open cockpit design was banned in Formula 1 racing due to safety concerns. In the early days of Formula 1, car designers were looking for ways to push the limits of speed. They found that designing a car with an open cockpit made it easier to achieve high speeds and easy to move and direct. The open cockpit design is a safety feature for drivers. The lack of a windshield and roof protects the driver from debris that might fly up from other cars or off the track. It also makes it easier for medical crews to get in and out of the car quickly in case of emergency. The safety of the drivers in F1 racing has been a topic of discussion for a long time now. The main debate is whether closed cockpits should be introduced or not. Formula 1 racing has always been a dangerous sport where drivers need to push their limits to the extreme, which is why closed cockpits are not a suitable solution for the sport. A Formula 1 car is a single-seat, open-wheeled motor racing car with a streamlined body design and aerodynamic wings. The open cockpit design of the car means that the driver sits in an open frame and has no roof over his head. This allows for better visibility and more air to flow around the driver, which in turn helps reduce drag. The open cockpit design of Formula 1 is a safety feature. It is designed so that the driver can escape in the event of an accident. The open cockpit design of Formula One cars has been around for decades now, and it is one of the most distinguishing features about this type of car. The open cockpit allows for a better view for both the driver and spectators. Formula One cars are designed and built according to the current FIA Formula One technical regulations. The cars must be able to accommodate a driver and a fuel tank, while also having enough room for the engine and drivetrain components. Formula One cars are single-seat, open cockpit racing cars. They typically have wings on both sides of the car to produce downforce, which allows them to go faster around corners by keeping them on the ground. Most cockpit design is a car design that has the driver and passenger compartment fully enclosed. This design can be beneficial to drivers in many ways. For example, it reduces the risk of injury from debris or other objects flying into the cabin during a crash. It also reduces the risk of being ejected from the vehicle in a crash, because there is less space for passengers to move around. However, closed cockpit design also has some drawbacks. For example, it makes it more difficult for passengers to exit the vehicle in an emergency situation, such as a fire or accident. It also makes it difficult for drivers to see out of their windshields during heavy rain or snowstorms, because they are completely surrounded by windows on all sides, except for when they look straight down at their feet while driving. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope you now know why F1 cars don't have closed cockpits. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and see you guys in the next one.